We will call the Linwood Town Board meeting of Tuesday, June 24th, 2025 to order at 6:01. And if we could all please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Billy, if you could please do roll call.
Supervisor Cole,
Here.
Supervisor Olson,
Here.
Supervisor Milliburn.
Here.
Supervisor Lidke.
Here. And did it look like Lisa was connected yet?
She's but she's not participating. Can't vote.
She can't vote, but she can participate and talk. Okay,
She's on.
got it. All right. All right, and then we're gonna do a recognition. Andy, did you want to do the honors of this?
Did, but he is able to attend.
Okay, so we will strike that one. All right. We'll open up to public forum. Just as a reminder, public forum is supposed to, it's going to allow the public, if you've got something that you want to address to the board, gives public an opportunity to talk directly to us. It's not an opportunity to ask questions of the board. It's to present information that's not on the agenda, something to bring to our attention. Supervisors do have an opportunity to ask for a little further definition if need be. But that's what this portion is for. We want to try to keep public comment at the very beginning of the meeting. And so that we can not have to address it at the end of the meeting. It gives everybody an opportunity this way. So does anybody want to speak at public comment? All right. Okay, come on up. And we're going to change this a little bit. We got rid of, for those that are here, you'll notice there's no mic in the front. We're going to ask you to sit down and speak at this mic. I think that one will pick up a lot better.
Okey doke. Yeah, it does. Hi, my name is Judy Hanna. My address is 6071 South Linwood Drive, Wyoming, Minnesota. And this question is probably for Supervisor Milliburn.
Should be a comment.
A comment?
Yeah.
My comment, okay, my comment would. Yeah. So, at the last town board meeting, I made, discussion, or I talked about the new sign. It's an awesome new sign. I'm curious as to when it's going to be up and running.
And who is the interface to the school district on the sign? Do we know? Is it?
I reached out to them. They're obviously on summer break. They were talking with the facility manager, so should have something by the next meeting.
Okay. So yeah, so we'll dig into that a little bit. But
And our outside sign did not appear to be up and running tonight.
okay.
Sign is being done also. There seems to be a connectivity issue with it that we're trying to get fixed.
Okie doke. That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Anybody else? All right, seeing none, we'll move on.
If Ashton is here.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to number 4, recognition. And Andy, I'll let you do the honors, please.
Yeah, so we have Ashton Rowe here tonight. If you remember, board, he did an Eagle project up at Alquist Park. So he completed that. Not in the nick of time. It was we were running things right down to the wire. So he did an awesome job. The park turned out wonderful. The field, the bases. He's got a lockbox. So I'll let him come speak to it. Ashton, you can speak right here.
I didn't get out to you guys in time, but I have pictures on a slideshow.
Oh,
You want to pass that around? Yes. So my Eagle project was to renovate Alquist Park over in Linwood, just down there. And I got some before and after pictures. We installed a lockbox, put in brand new bases, benches, and my hopes for the park is just for it to be used in general. But also maybe for it to be used for like community ed games or practices or just anybody to use.
Sure. I was out there, I walked it. It's, he did a fantastic job. Very impressive.
Thank you.
I think we just have to work out the, access to the keys.
Yes.
Last issue that we have to deal with.
Yeah, we
so
just gotta make some more keys and then we'll drop some off here.
Perfect. Wonderful job. Yeah, if you guys haven't got a chance to go look at it, try to stop out and take a peek.
It is easy to see and it's impressive what it looks like. You did phenomenal. I think the whole community will thank you for changing what it's looked like for 3 years. So you did a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The only problem is we now have 7 more that need to be done.
It's called a Master Eagle Scout project. You can be the master of all Eagle Scouts.
You are a resident expert.
Yep.
Back.
But Ashley, thank you. Thank you for
Yes.
doing that.
Thank you for thinking of the council. Congratulations again, because you just got it 2 weeks ago then? Was when you submitted and everything?
Submitted it last week.
Yep, so it's very cool. Good honor.
It's great.
Thank
Great.
you again.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right.
I wasn't working at first either.
All right, we'll move forward then to number 6. This is a consideration approval of the agenda. So we've got the agenda. Is there any changes, additions, removals?
I'd like to add something. Is that a motion?
Nope.
I'd like to just add, I have an update regarding Abdo and HR, a brief update.
Okay. See, I think that would be under old business since we've talked about it. So let's make an 8.2 for Abdo and HR. Right, any other changes?
New business, I just have a meeting schedule discussion coming out of workshop.
Okay, 9.2 is meeting schedule. Anything else?
That is all I have.
Right. All right, so we're adding 8.2 and 9.2. Everything else remains the same. Is there a motion to approve?
Make a
Motion to
motion.
approve the agenda.
Second.
All right. Sam made the motion, Andy seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Sorry, I didn't sorry.
Okay.
I
I was gonna ask you. Okay, so 4 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passes. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Is there any proposed changes to the consent agenda?
I would like to motion to remove the rezone of Fawn Lake Drive, just to ask some questions about it.
So that's 7.12.
Yes.
Okay, so 7.12, we'll pull that one for further discussion. Any other ones?
I would like to pull 7.7, 7.8, 7.10, and 7.13.
Okay. We've got those. And then I'd also like to pull 7.1. This is the meeting minutes. We'll pull that one and then we'll talk about all these afterwards. So that leaves 7.2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 11. Any other proposed changes? All right, hearing none. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Okay, Andy motioned, Bob seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. All right, we'll take each one of these. On the 7.1, the reason why I pulled the meeting minutes was there was parts of the video that were hard to hear. And I know that 2 of the addresses that were documented in there aren't accurate. And so I want to have an opportunity to go back and make sure that we've got accurate information. So the meeting minutes reflect truly what was discussed in the meeting. So I can work with our clerk, Billy, on that. 7.7 we pulled. That's the claims list. And we're just gonna,
I'll be abstaining from 7.7 and
7.8,
7.8.
okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get those off the table. So I'll make a motion to approve 7.7 to 7.8. 7.7 is the claims list for approval. 38,959 to 38,990 for 38,515.64. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Abstain.
And so 3 ayes, 1 abstention. Motion passes. Move on to 7.8. I'll motion to approve payroll for $24,590.28. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
And 1 abstention. So 3, 4, and 1 abstention. 7.10, resolution 2025-10, which is an accessory building variance. Would like to speak to that.
I can speak to it quick. We have new information today. And I'd just like to give staff time to process that and make sure that township's interest in processing of said land use application is proper. So I just make a motion to table resolution 25-10 until the next meeting.
All right. I'll second the motion. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes 4-0. And we'll move on to 7-12. This is ordinance 221.
So I just wanted to make sure that I'm fully understanding what this is. From what I've read, it looks like they've been using their property for a business since 2008. And the business is remaining the same. They're just trying to make it official. Is that what's going on?
It's actually, I was at that P and Z meeting. They've actually been in operation since like 1971, 72.
Okay.
And it's, so they've operated there for a long time. They did move it off site for a couple of years and then moved it back. So now what they're trying to do is, zone the whole thing as business. Rather
Okay.
than having residential there.
Okay. Sounds good. I just wanted to be clear on what I was approving. So
Does anybody remember anything different? All right. Yep, so that's what that is. We just went through this with property down on 22, not very many months ago. Getting them to go from residential to business.
Okay.
So this is kind of the same thing. All right, so is there a motion to approve?
motion to approve 7 dot. Let me scroll back up. Motion to approve 7.12 ordinance 221 rezone 7860 Pond Lake Drive.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, motion passes 4-0. And the last one is 7.13, resolution 2025-12. And who'd like to speak to that?
I can, in regards to item, Supervisor Hendrickson, who was unable to participate, asked for this to be tabled. So I'm just going to extend that for her and make a motion to table resolution 25-12 interim use permit 7860 Fawn Lake Drive to the next meeting.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. All right, that should take care of all our consent agenda. Move on to number 8, which is our old business. So this first one is website update. And who would like to talk to that?
I can speak to that. We did have another follow-up meeting with Civic Plus. We were able to connect last week. Did get some preliminary pricing put into your packets that you saw. We have example links from both vendors and providers. Would really encourage the board now to peruse and look at those two different ones, and we should have a presentation and direction recommendation at the next meeting.
Wonderful.
So it's got costing, it's got the example links from other ones in there. And the plan is internally to have one more come around to it, and then we'll have that at the next meeting, so.
Good. Yeah, I looked through some of those samples from the town web quote. The last one that they had there where they showed how it was a table set up where you could see the meeting minute, or you could see the agenda, you could see the board packet, you could see the meeting minutes, and then you could hit the
Little camera
video.
link to the video.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And for either one of those, we'll have enough disk space then to host for 7 years worth of videos.
They will, there's some, that's what we're working through with some of the add-on costs with the big thing is the communication and outreach. So we have the ability to have a subscriber list, so people can just go in, subscribe, and then when the township posts this meeting and the agenda and the minutes, that goes out to anybody who subscribes to it. So it's meeting the communication needs of today. It's giving information to people who want it, and it's coming to them. They're not having to go search and look. And then when they do, it's still easy enough to find with the goal of 3 clicks. So that layout, like I said, that example layout is pretty slick.
Sure. Yeah,
So-
that was awesome.
So yeah, so that's kind of the back and forth between the two, and really understanding the impact with budget where we'll be. So by all means, if there's anything to do, it's just to look at those two in the next couple weeks, and we'll come back with a recommendation.
Perfect. Awesome. No, great work. That was a lot of reading.
Yes.
A lot of reading to go through, but oh, that's super. Any questions? Bob, you got any questions on it? All right. All right, thank you for that update. 8.2, this is the Abdo and HR update.
Yep, so I had a meeting with Abdo, a preliminary meeting. We didn't talk about pricing. They will be, I will be meeting with them again on the 1st to go over pricing. So a little bit of a buzzer beater on our special meeting for the budget, but when I talked to them, it seemed like they have a great offering, so we'll have to see what the price is, but they are based out of Minnesota. They work with townships and public entities all the time. They had a lot of good recommendations for how to handle employee issues privately without violating open meeting law. They had a lot of different options and recommendations depending on how we want to take it. Just all around, I got the impression that they really knew what they were talking about. So we'll have to see how much it costs. But the general price structure is that we can either choose to anticipate needing a certain number of hours. And if we do that, we get a discounted, like blended rate with like different areas of expertise. Or if we don't anticipate our hours, we can just do as needed, but the cost will be a little higher because they don't blend the different experts. So we'll be going over that in more detail again on next Tuesday. So I should be able to come to the budget meeting with some idea of what that might cost. And my main question was, am I required to go get multiple quotes? Which I'm happy to do.
I have to talk to the attorney tomorrow. Let me verify with him
Okay.
in a contracting kind of situation like this. Because we don't do that for our township attorney. We don't do that for our township engineer.
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna have to do that.
I'm happy to do it, but at the same time, there's already this relationship with the finance side. And so I'm happy to do it if we think it's necessary, but otherwise I won't.
I'll just double check, but I think we're okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's great. That's great information. All right. Any questions for Sam on that?
No, thank you for that.
All right, long time coming. Number 9, new business. 9.1 is volunteer appreciation discussion.
That was
And,
removed.
Okay, we're gonna remove.
And then, so 9.2, I had meeting schedule, coming out of our workshop, we discussed having the workshop be part of this night, so we didn't have to worry about scheduling and everything, and to alleviate staff time and energy, it'd be nice if we just made that an official amendment of our meeting schedule, so it can just be reposted, republished, and not have to be special meeting every time, and because we've already essentially moving this time to what it is. So if we talk and move the board meetings to 6:30 and have that workshop at 5:30, we can amend that schedule and make it a general posting.
And workshops are open to the public.
Yep.
It's just they won't be televised.
Correct.
Okay, so workshop 5:30. Well, this will also save the taxpayers $100 per supervisor for not having to have a special meeting. No, that's smart. I like that. All right, so workshop. So the proposal is workshop at 5:30, between 5:30 and 5:45 or quarter after 6 or so. And then move in our board meeting from 6 o'clock to 6:30.
Yep.
Okay. And that'll be for each one of our meetings then, right?
That'll be moving forward. So for the next meeting, it will be posted specially, both of that. And then within that consent agenda, that new schedule will be there for approval.
Okay.
So that way they can just move forward that rest of the year under that schedule.
Perfect. All right, any questions? Are we gonna make a motion on that?
We need to make a motion to change the meeting time next on the July 8th meeting. I'll make a motion. We change the meeting time on July 8th to 6:30 PM.
All right, the motion's been made. Is there a second?
Or we're not doing it just for that though, aren't we doing it for all future meetings?
Yes, but it'll be in that meeting
Oh,
that we,
decide.
that you'll have that document that'll essentially
Got it.
will approve it for all future. We just
Okay,
legally have to post this one because it's already posted for a time.
got it.
I'll second the motion. All right, any other discussion on it?
And
All right.
then just that there'll also be a special posting for the workshop at 5:30 as well. That'll just be a meeting that's posted, so.
All right. Yeah, that I can call. Yep. Okay, all right. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. So our next board meeting, July 8th, will be at 6:30. 6:30 PM.
Advertise the daylights out of that.
Yep, can't say it enough. All
I'm
right,
actually gonna put it in my calendar right now. Just no.
all right. Move on to number 10. Which is our upcoming meetings. So we've got the board workshop, which is a budget meeting. Or not a budget meeting, budget workshop, 6 o'clock, July 1st. This will be our second that we'll work through some more details. Cemetery committee meeting is July 9th. I think that's at 10 o'clock in the morning. Neighborhood meeting, which is going to be regarding easements along the Martin Lake Road for the project that we'll be doing next year.
Does that help?
It's going to be right here, July 9th. Yep.
Got a time on that?
You remember, was it 6? 5? All right, and then we've got the
That'll
planning.
be, you're gonna post that as a possible quorum, so we can show.
And then we got the planning and zoning committee meeting coming up July 15th and Parks Committee meeting on July 28th. And then our next regular board meeting will be July 8th, 6:30 and not 6 o'clock. The agenda says 6 o'clock, so 6:30. All right, anything else to come before the board? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. This meeting is adjourned at 6:26. Thank you, everybody.